We're Youth for Change, a group of volunteers and activists from 3 continents and 5 countries. We campaign to end FGM, child marriage, and gender-based violence. In this film, we want to talk about medicalised FGM and the myths and misconceptions surrounding it.
Medicalising FGM makes it an acceptable practice.
It really doesn't. The same violence is being inflicted on these girls, and it's a violation of their rights. FGM is wrong, whether it's administered by a hospital or a doctor, and it has to be stopped.
Medicalising FGM makes it safe.
Medicalising FGM doesn't solve the root of the problem. Despite taking place in a hospital, how would you feel if you had to endure a lifetime's worth of physical and psychological pain, such as difficulties urinating, pain during sex, and problems involving childbirth?
Laws alone will end FGM.
Laws alone won't end FGM. Whilst FGM is illegal nearly everywhere in the world, it still carries on. What we need is community engagement, youth empowerment, training for health professionals, and the law.
Healthcare centres are always accessible for young people.
This isn't always the case. Many healthcare centres aren't designed for young people or designed with young people.
Some clinics aren't free, which is a problem since some children and young people can't afford it. Some only open during school hours, which means it is often inaccessible to students. And some clinics expect you to come to them, but young people often can't. The taboo can be too strong. We need health workers to reach out, to go into communities and to talk to us. We also need youth-friendly health clinics designed by us.
FGM is a cultural practice, and young people shouldn't challenge it.
The effects of FGM last a lifetime rather than a day. Social norms can be modified over time, whereas permanent physical damages last forever. In order to prevent people from becoming social outcasts, we need to get communities to challenge culture, and that can start with youth.
How can young people keep governments to account on FGM?
But we want young people to speak out, to tell your leaders and your bosses and your governments and ministers like me what works and what doesn't work. There are projects that have brought dramatic change, and that's incredibly encouraging, and we need to push for more of them and to get involved. And one really successful project that I've just seen is the Born Salima project in Sudan. It begins with a conversation with mothers who've just given birth about not cutting their daughters. And at one hospital that I visited in Khartoum, they have about 600 births a month there, and about 75% of the mothers have agreed not to cut their daughters. And the name Salima in Arabic means born whole. And that's how their daughters are, and that's how we want them to continue.
You can start a newspaper, or a blog, or a radio show. You can also do surveys and petitions.
You can initiate debates and discussions in class.
You can start something in your school, your church, the mosque, or anywhere you work in. Talk about it to young people, start debates, and get people doing the same.
This is a youth issue. It happens to young people, and young people need to take a stand.
We need more of us involved, more of us giving up our time, more of us speaking out. You can join up with the campaigners already out there, going into communities, meeting other young people, and helping bring this practice to an end.
We can be the generation that sees FGM end if we work towards it and work together.